Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's about 12:35, something like that, almost 1 o'clock. Finally checked into the room. Everything went great, smooth sailing. The other hotel was great over in Sun Valley. Had no complaints with anything. Everything went rather smoothly. I did have to wait a little bit today, but that's pretty normal to get checked into the room. That's very normal, so nothing special there. But yeah, man, I had a good day thus far. Got a lot of stuff I got to purchase. That's what it comes down to. Happy that I got the energy to do it. I'm feeling better today than I did these last couple of days, and so it's time to go. My Hollywood walk, man. You know, sometimes the little things make you very happy. Last night I bought some really good food. Bought some jerk chicken from some random Jamaican spot that happened to deliver to that Sun Valley area, you know. So I just tried something random and it was good. Jerk chicken and beans, plantains and rice, all types of stuff like that, greens. It was good, man. And then after that I watched the game, enjoyed the game. We won, and I ate a pomegranate, as I often been doing, and it just so happened it probably was the best one I've ever had like in my life. The thing was perfect. It tastes perfect. I don't think I've had too many things of a certain kind taste that good as that pomegranate did last night. And so, yeah, and like I said, I eat them a lot, you know what I mean? Like, I've been eating them things ever since the season has begun for pomegranates. I've been buying one for almost every day. This was the best one I ever had any day. So little stuff like that I was very thankful for. I slept especially well last night in that bed. It was very comfortable. You know, the shower was good. A lot of stuff was right about yesterday. So I'm very thankful. And checked into the room, didn't have no problems. They had a discount on the room, which really helped me with pocket change for this upcoming week. A lot, it helped a lot. I think the room was only like $261 for the first week, and of course $400 for the second 2 weeks. So that really helped a lot, man. And then I got my deposit back from the other place right away. They don't make you wait 2 weeks for your damn deposit to return of $100. This is only $50 deposit. You get that back in the morning. So I was very thankful with how all that went. And you know, as I was complaining about not being able to save money, you know, I look like I'm gonna be able to do a little of that right now, the way that things set up. So if I just don't overspend, I should be in a much better place than I've been since basically my birthday. So I can't complain, man. Thankful that it's all worked out that way, and that's pretty much it. So, man, I was sitting in the lobby laughing at all of the different personalities and stuff that was going by for Destiny, who works at the front desk. She was dealing with a million things at the same time. I was like, man, I don't know how the hell she do this job. I really don't. And the type of people that's coming around constantly either asking questions or trying to take personal with her, it's just like, yo, she got a million things she's trying to process. I'm just sitting there like, my God, man, whatever they paying her, they might want to give her a raise, man, because she's dealing with a lot. And so that was kind of funny to me. Had a lady come in who, from I guess the way the situation was described to me, she ain't on the lease for the contract. Her child's father is. Problem is, she called the cops on him. They took him away. She left in the room without nothing on the contract. So it's one of those situations where they got to get ID from her and all this stuff and the third. And I guess she was on her way to work today, and she dropped off, I guess it looked like a baby seat or something like that, underneath the steps where I used to keep my stuff, and they told us not to anymore. And ran up out of there, and Destiny tried to tell her, hey, you know, we need to discuss whatever. She was like, I don't care if this thing gets stolen or not, I just got to bounce, and ran out the door. And Destiny was like, I'm about to lock that girl out of there. I was like, wait a minute, wait. I tried to talk her out of it to a degree, but she was, you know, it's one of those situations where I identified with the desperation. That girl was in a space where even if things go wrong, I have to get where I'm going. It's so much more trouble for me to deal with the consequences of not being where I'm headed than it is to deal with the consequences of you. And I feel like over the last year I've become a little more patient with people, you know, when it comes to certain stuff like that, especially when they're in desperate spots. You clearly see she was in that type of space. And Destiny was not having it with her because she didn't like how she addressed her. She was like, I'm about to lock this girl out. I was like, oh man, hold on. But I guess that's when she started to tell me. I was gonna try to ask her to stall the girl out a little bit, but once she explained to me the situation, I'm like, nah. If something goes wrong, let's say the girl goes into some type of cardiac arrest or something, God forbid, and they don't have her on that lease, it can mess up the whole building. It can mess up the whole business. They can lose their entire business contract. So her not being official, but being there could hurt everything. Shut the business down, and I won't have nowhere to stay too. So it's like, nah, kick her out. Do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Once she explained it to me. But my thinking was, you know, just try to have patience with people who are in desperate situations, because they already got a million headaches, and they're hoping that you won't cause another one. And a lot of times when you cause that another one with those type of people, they may crash out on you. Like that be the last thing they had held together. Everything else going wrong, you need not to. And if you do whatever you do, they're gonna come back wanting to whatever, how that goes. And so that's what I was trying to basically express to Destiny. Like, yo, I know you're a young girl. Destiny's probably no older than 26, 25 years old. I'm like, I identified where that girl's at. In the 3 seconds that she walked through that door, I could see where she was at and what was going on to a degree. It's probably in your best spirit to stall her out. Because if this go wrong, she may not have another bit of patience to deal with anything else. That's what that looked like to me. Yeah, man, that's what that was. So I had a fun little adventure there, watching that whole situation for about an hour, seeing people coming in and out of that room, out of that front desk, and all that kind of thing. But you know, she has the type of personality where she can deal with it. I was telling you, you're doing a great job. Like, she has the type of bubbly personality and fast mind processing to be able to do this type of work, still deal with the people the way they need to be dealt with. So I give her credit, because I couldn't do it. I wouldn't last in that job 5 days. I give it 5 days at the most, and I'd be ready to quit that. But yeah, man, that was how that went. Very good, very, very good and entertaining stuff for me to watch right there. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what's there to see. I, of course, always talk about what's going on in Gaza, man. We never take our eyes off of that fully. And from what I understand, they've just been bombing stuff in the surrounding areas. They're trying to make greater Israel, essentially. It ain't just about destroying the Palestinians. It's about creating that greater Israel map that they ultimately are dreaming about. The thing looks like a woman's shoe, to be completely honest with you. Like the territory looks like one of them old high heel shoes from the 1800s. That's exactly what it looks like. And so in trying to create that thing based on what it is they already have, the territory they already have, they got a lot of territory to conquer. You know? A lot of territory to conquer. So they going around starting fires and bombing the hell out of everybody in the surrounding areas and just spreading out their genocidal intentions based on the land grab itself. You know, they hate the Palestinians and they hate Arabs in general. But what they're really trying to do is create that shoe. So it's like, okay, we're gonna bomb this. We're gonna call them terrorists over there too. Syria, we call them terrorists too. Bomb them. Apply the same genocidal formulas to them. Kill off their people. Put their kids under rubble. Do all types of weird stuff, and then just, you know, dance about it and laugh about it. And eventually, if we do enough of this, we'll have the shoe. And so that's really what it is, man. They just trying to get their high heel shoe. That's all it is. And you know, and then they're gonna try to turn it into a resort area, and all your famous celebrities are gonna be going there, and you know, and these big ass elaborate condos, probably $1 million a month type stuff. They're gonna have stuff like that if they're able to just rid the area of the natives, you know. That's exactly what Israel's trying to do. And of course they're posturing as if it's okay to do that. Like, you know, the way they converse about themselves is like there's nothing wrong with them literally killing people and taking their land. Like it's the most sophisticated thing in the world. Just like the Pilgrims. You know, just like the people who built this thing. Because he let them get away with it then, they're continuing on that path now in different generations. And so I just know that it's very difficult to sell that same story to the world when people are watching the results of the genocide and the cleansing in their phones. You can posture all you damn want. I'm still watching a woman carrying a baby missing a head down the street. Like, you can't sophisticate yourself out of the consequences of being seen as someone who did that to somebody. You know what I mean? I don't care how high you hold your head. I don't care how tight your suit is. I don't care how beautiful the banquet is as you're addressing what it is you're doing. You're still literally traumatizing all of us because we're witnessing what it is that you're actually doing. You're a barbarian. You're a conquering barbarian. Okay, Zionists, like literally that. I don't care what type of rhetoric you use. I'm watching what y'all doing as it pertains to coming around and, you know, having conversations that are supposed to be sophisticated in nature about what it is your intentions are, and calling Islam like the worst thing in the world and all of that, and saying you're getting rid of terrorists. You know, you try to play word games and mental gymnastics and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we still see exactly what is happening there. You are the terror in the night for a lot of little children. You're the bad guy in the movie. Like, literally. And so for them, it's just about, you know, I believe in karma. And for those who do a lot of bad to a lot of people, the karma comes in different ways than what it is that we're used to seeing in our regular lives. So I don't know what the Lord is going to do with these people. The Zionists, the white supremacists. I don't really know where it's headed, but I can tell you it's going to be pretty bad. And I'm going to tell y'all something that I think is, you know, generational curses is real, man. I really believe that people put curses on their generations to come. Innocent people end up dying early and not able to have children and carry their lineage on because of their ancestors making it so that they no longer deserve to live. And while they get away with so much, eventually you look up and they're gone. There's no remnants of their last name. There's no remnants of any trace of them anywhere. And you just keep seeing people from the same family die at like 35. Like, you know, like stuff like that is real. You see it. And it's like, this is what I think ultimately that's about. A lot of times. These generational curses. Where your family can't survive forever because of certain things that great-great-granddaddy did that made it so that the only karma that could actually come is that he's erased from the earth. And given the fact that these people are literally trying to erase people from the earth, they're trying to erase entire families just because they're Palestinian, removing entire tribes off the map with bombs. There's really only one way that I'd imagine the Lord is going to handle that. And it's going to be that for which those same people, their kids are not going to survive long. They're not going to be able to keep their lineage going into the future. They're going to be gone. And so that's what I'm here to tell all of y'all Zionists, man. I think you are putting your lineage at risk. You may be able to get away with this in your flesh. You're probably going to the ground and be heralded as great people. But what you're probably doing is making it so that God no longer really wants y'all around as a whole family. And you're putting curses on your lineage. And I'll tell you something else. When you play with God, the Creator, you really don't know what his methods are for responding to that. You really don't know. Like, there's a lot of different people who believe a lot of things, and when it comes to this, they're religiously driven. So they believe that they are certain about what it is that they're doing in regards to being Zionists and adapting to fake Judaism and all of this different stuff. They're moving as if God is telling them this is what should be done. The reality is, this is the opposite of what God actually wants. And there's going to be harsh consequences for it. Now, what you don't want to find out in this life is that the consequences he has for you are unfathomable in nature and unprecedented to what it is that your imagination could take you. I look at all these damn roaches I keep stomping on in this life and all these flies I keep batting out of the sky, and I wonder if they're reincarnated spirits of horrible human beings destined to continue to be smashed over and over again just for the sake of the pain that comes with it. Having to scavenge and all different types of things. You wonder why you feel nothing when you kill certain entities. You know what I mean? Like, why don't I feel bad when I stomp on an ant? Well, maybe it's because an ant used to be a human being that did awful things to people without any remorse. And now, his only purpose is to die over and over again. You see what I'm saying? Or some of these people that you see in life that are overly possessed, live in torment, can't wipe themselves, you know, can't halfway move around. I wonder how many of those people are people living a new life, reincarnated, paying for the things that they've done in the past, destined to suffer for all of their lives, destined to continue to return to new lives that were meant to only suffer. A lot of y'all Zionists probably gonna come back in that way because y'all toying with God, man. You're toying with God and you're getting away with it as it pertains to man. So that you got away with it as it pertains to being a person means that God gonna have to get you in a different way when it's time for you to face him. And a lot of y'all think y'all just gonna go to hell and burn. You're not really certain what you're gonna come back and how it's gonna pay out. You think it's going to be a certain way. You tell each other that it's going to be the opposite of that. And you may find out that you're signing up for an eternity of being smashed over and over and over again. Or an eternity of living lives that only are meant to house suffering over and over and over again. A lot of y'all signing up for stuff that you really don't want to sign up for is what I'm saying. And you think because you get away with it, you go into the ground without being shamed for it, that you're not going to suffer immensely. He may make it so that you suffer even more because you got away with it on earth. You would do better confessing to everybody what you've done, suffering what you got to go through on this earth, so that when you get to the point where he has to punish you, maybe he can hit you with something equivalent to time served. And that's what I'm here to tell people, man. I think it's very important that a lot of y'all who are going around committing the worst atrocities in the world not underestimate the creativity of the Creator in regards to making you pay for what you've done. That's something I was thinking about last night as I was praying. It's a concept that I think I'm supposed to just throw out there. Some of y'all are signing up for stuff that you don't even know is possible as in regards to your own suffering. And in regards to your own shame, in regards to your own pain. Like, you're signing up for it. You want to spend the one life you have with a choice, earning the right to never have choices again type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Putting your soul through endless torment. A lot of y'all was given a lot in this life, have a lot, are in control of a lot in this life, and are doing the worst with it, making other people's lives miserable who don't have a whole lot of power. There may be a scenario where the tables then turn for the rest of eternity. And those same spirits that you did that to now get to torture you for the rest of your life. Now, a lot of y'all turning people into monsters by way of the evil that you're doing to them. So the people that you've done harm to aren't going to heaven either. They're going to be in hell with you. And what you think their role is going to be when they get there? You see, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I just think people are signing up for certain things. You're mortgaging your eternity for an opportunity at a short period of time on earth. And I think a lot of people are missing the point as it pertains to why you should sacrifice certain things on earth so that your eternity doesn't yield you a lifetime, an eternity of torment. Because a lot of y'all gonna find out there is a God and that he has an even more creative mind than you do when it comes to putting people through hell. The Zionists, y'all went around lying to human beings like we the last ones left. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you get away with stuff with us, you've gotten away with it, period. But that's not at all true. Every lie you ever told, God knew the truth about it. Everything you ever did in the dark, he was right there watching you. And he may be the only one there at the end. Everybody else you lied to and got over on, they may not even be available to you upon the end of your judgment. Just him. Just the guy who saw everything. And all your little lies and all your posturing that you were doing, trying to get away with stuff on earth, trying to make it so that human beings align with you, ain't none of them human beings gonna be around. Death's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. And you're gonna get to the other side and ain't gonna be nobody but the witness to everything you ever did. Sitting there waiting for you. Ready to put you through everything you put somebody else through 10, 12-fold. Ready to shame you for it. Ready to make it so that you was in your most difficult spaces for a very, very long time. And that's what it is, man. I think that's what it kind of comes down to. A lot of people are so certain that as long as they get away with stuff on earth, they cool. And that is such a dangerous thing to toy with. You know what I mean? Toying with religion, toying with God's name, toying with, you know, all different types of stuff like that. Oh, there's no God. Are you sure? Yeah, all I gotta do is get over on people and we got it. Are you sure? That's the problem. Everybody gonna die, so you're gonna figure it out one way or another. You're gonna know the truth one way or another. You think God gonna give you a hand for all the evil that you done, all the suffering you put people through? You think he gonna be at the end it's gonna be him and angels applauding you or something? I hope you're not telling yourself that. A lot of people are tricking themselves out of any chance of being any kind of happy in the long run. I really think that. Tricking themselves out of any possibility of being at peace when it matters most. Like, they're just gonna be evil, unapologetically evil. All right. If that's what you want to sign yourself up for, that is what you're signing up for. You're gonna see what comes with that. Don't expect me to be over there saying, well, let me stall them out, God. I'm not gonna say nothing. The next person ain't gonna say nothing. Everybody got their own space. When it's time for the afterlife, we too busy trying to figure out how we gonna deal with what it is that we've been judged on. Ain't gonna be nobody there co-signing you. All these people you think co-signing you, all these people that you try to convince that your lies were true so that we would applaud you, ain't none of them people gonna be there. None of them gonna be there. That's what the Zionists needs to understand. Y'all turn it upside down, right side up. You're trying to, you know, change the words of things so people will support the suffering of babies and, you know, shun everybody else who otherwise wants to see those people be relieved of the suffering you putting them through, and saying you the victim and all of that. And I guess when you convince me of all of those things, you won, right? You win. And that's what you're operating as if I'm God. Like I'm gonna, like once I get it, then just fine. You understand what I'm saying? That's how they treat the situation. Like as long as human beings are believing the lies, they running the show. It's like, man, you don't, unless you're immortal and you can keep yourself here forever, you got to figure out what happens after it's over with. And that's what people don't give enough credence to. You don't give enough credence to that. Hello. Hi, how are you? Good, good, good. And see, that's what it is. That's why we put our kids through a lot. We put ourselves through a lot in the afterlife. And you don't know how long you have. You may go around the corner and that'll be the end of it. And then you're just faced with the reality of the secrets that you told, the evil that you did, and the creator who was aware of all of it. Who's probably not too happy. Who's probably hurt by the things that you've done to people that he also created. It's not as simple as I convince the world I win. I convince the world that I'm not what I am and I do whatever I want. I stay out of jail, I win. Like a lot of y'all moving as if that's the end of the movie. Like that's the end of the story. And you still got to go in the ground and deal with whatever your consciousness goes. Well, it's nothing. You sure? It's just blackness. That's it. Are you sure? I don't care. As long as I win the game, I'm in here. Whatever happens then, happens then. Yeah, that's what you say now when you're not going through nothing because of what you've done here. That is not the song you're going to be singing when you're living through what it is that you create for yourself by the way of things that you've done in your little short little life. I don't care. I'm indifferent. I don't care. People like toying around with the devil. Do you understand what the devil is? I always get a kick out of people who worship the devil or want to work for the devil. Do you understand what he does? He's a liar. Whatever you think you're getting from working for him, you do not get. You signed up for humiliation, suffering, and ultimately betrayal. Heartache, pain, and shame forevermore. Like, that's literally all he's going to provide you. That's all he provides himself. And you want to worship him, you're missing the point. He hates himself. The last thing he wants anyone to do is praise him or worship him. He hates you for doing that. And that you would worship the devil would be that you don't understand the devil. Like, you don't even see him. You know, we often say, do you see your child? Like, you may know that you have a child, but do you actually see who that person is? Or are you just talking at them? Do you see people, or are you talking at them? That's the same way people are when it comes to worshiping the devil. Do you even see him? Like, do you even know what that is? I'm going to worship him, make him happy. He don't want to be happy. He hates those who make him happy. He wants to torture those who make him happy. He can't stand happiness. Like the very essence of what it is he is to make self and others suffer. You want to give souls to the devil. You're not winning anything. He's not going to tell you the truth about what he's going to do either. He's going to lie about that. It's just like people don't see him. They don't understand what that is. That's a black hole to never, forever. Literally. You jump in that, and whatever you're feeling that would make it so that you want to jump in there, there's going to be a point somewhere down the road to infinity where you're going to realize that wasn't worth it. And then you're going to start to really feel the suffering that comes from that. You're not going to be able to escape it. Forever's a mighty long time. A lot of y'all moving in defiance based on things that didn't go your way in a moment's notice. Now you turn bad. Bro, it's a long time. It's a long time. You're going to have realizations at some point that wasn't it. Forever is a long time. You're going to change. You're going to go through a lot of different phases in that forever period of time, so to speak. You're not going to feel the same way that you did when you decided to do that evil thing. Eventually, it's going to be a problem for you that you did any of that. And you're still going to be in the spaces paying for that. You're going to want nothing more than to change your ways, even if it takes a long, long time. Eventually, you get to a point where you literally regretted every damn thing. Because you're going to realize that when you come to that realization, this shit still ain't going to stop. When you're sorry, when you're finally sorry, when you finally had enough of your torment because of the behaviors, you're still going to face it. It ain't going to stop. A lot of y'all think, I ain't never going to change. Never's a mighty long time. And unlike in life, your consciousness will go on in the afterlife. So when you come to certain conclusions, you get over certain things, when you finally bring it to yourself that you couldn't forgive that person or whatever, you're still going to be tormented. That eternity is still going to be hidden. It's just like going to jail for the rest of your life. You did something, you were evil, you were angry, you were rebellious, you were whatever you call it, ambitious, you're going to get whatever you want. In the space of ignorance for which you value things over life and you didn't care about nobody, you're still going to be in there after you get over all that. After you grow to realize that that wasn't it, you're still going to be suffering from it. Prisons filled with people with regrets who've changed. You understand what I'm saying? Lifers who changed. Who are not moved by the same things they were moved by when they put themselves in a position to deserve being there. People who have overcome some of the worst aspects of themselves, but they're still paying for the worst aspect of themselves. Like, that's the equivalent. That's like a metaphor for your eternity. A lot of y'all, a million years down the road, y'all gonna want to be good people, and you're still gonna be burning. And no one's actually painting that picture for a lot of y'all, man. A lot of y'all are temporarily moved by evil things. You like stupid things. You're ignorant in spaces. You're influenced by people who do evil things. Bad boy energy. I want to be bad. Women who are attracted to bad boys. I want a bad boy around me. No, you don't understand. You don't understand where he's headed. You don't know. You don't understand what you're aligning yourself with, what you're signing up for. You want to have kids with that man. That man is going to put generational curses on his lineage. Your kid's going to die because of that man. Like, y'all don't get it. Y'all keep playing. Y'all keep letting Zionist culture creators coerce you into spaces where you want the worst for yourself without identifying it as such. Zionist culture creators, intentional in nature, wanting people to want the worst for themselves so that they can benefit from it. It's exactly what it is. They pour into the worst factions of your community, make them as selfish and as hungry for things as possible to coerce you into doing things that ultimately make you guilty, make you worse, and make you worship the devil. That's exactly what they want to do. And then they stand back and point at you and call you a heathen when they have effectively coerced you into that heathenism themselves. A lot of us are not aware of that entity in place. They ain't nothing but the devil's people, bro. That's all that is. They mimic their master. And their intention is to make you do the same thing. And y'all all suffer together. That's exactly what that's about. And the very thing that they miss that will make them make better choices for themselves is self-awareness in a lot of cases. And the wisdom to know why they should not even look at that the way that they do. They have been coerced out of looking at things the right way, and they're trying to coerce you into looking at things the wrong way. And if you give them an opportunity, they will rob you of your life, your soul, and any chance of a happy eternity. They will rob you of that. My mom used to say, don't let the devil rob you. There's no difference. They mimic who they create, were created by, or who they worship, rather. They mimic him. And so that's what I'm here to tell y'all, man. I am overly convinced that Zionists are the devil's people. Everything in their actions have shown me that's exactly what they are. It's exactly what they are. And you can follow them, and you can follow what it is that makes them happy. You can co-sign what they do. You can think it's a game, think it's cute. 9 out of 10 times you suffer for doing so. And they wouldn't have it no other way. They wouldn't have no other way. And when you grow out of that, whatever it is that made you attracted to what they do, you're still going to be paying for it. You change, you're a different person now. You want to be a good person now. You get why you should do things differently, you're still paying for it. That's the messed up part of the whole thing. You're still paying for stuff you did when you didn't know no better, when you didn't care no better, and when you were putting people through it because of it. It ain't worth it. And what you also understand is that you've been offered up to an entity even worse than you in a lot of cases. You are food for the entity that's worse than you. When you offer yourself to the prison industrial complex, or you offer yourself to the enemy, you will become food. You're not a soldier in his army. You are something on his table to eat. And you look at it that way, and you save yourself of a lot of trouble. And so that's what I'm trying to get people to understand, man. I'm trying to save souls. I'm trying to get people to fathom the idea that they're going to change. Even if nobody can change you in the era you in, you're going to change. Time's going to teach you why you shouldn't have did that. You know, erasers who want to kill everything and be the only ones left, what they end up finding out is after they've done that, now they're by themselves. Now the only thing they're left with is desolate space. And eventually they get tired of that desolate space. They get bored. There's nothing around. There's nobody to do nothing to. I've effectively won the game, but now there's no more game to play. And in that space comes a clarity that they should have left some stuff around. And as they live in that space long enough, They realize they should have never been an eraser in the first place. And as they live in that space long enough, they just want somebody to bring people back around so they're just not alone no more. So that they're not by themselves forever. So that they're not living in a space of endless boredom. But the funny thing is that clarity is never afforded to them beforehand. It's only afforded to them after they've reached a space where they've won the game, where everything they wanted to destroy is gone and there ain't nobody there left but them. Then they realize they miss variety. Then they realize they miss activity around them. Then they realize the only thing that was saving them from endless boredom was the very mission they were on. Endless boredom. That's what awaits every serial killer that wants to kill everybody. It's the fact that they're going to be by themselves for an extended period of time, and eventually they're going to get tired of that. Even if you're an introvert, you only want to be alone for as long as you want to be alone. That's the reality of it. You only want to be alone for as long as you want to be alone. Once you erase everybody, you are alone for longer than that. You got to stay in that extended space of loneliness long past the time where you've grown out of it. You start making certain decisions that affect yourself when you've changed. And you don't think you're even going to change. But the actions that you engage in are going to affect tomorrow's you that don't want the same thing today's you want. And that's where the devil gets to dance, because he knows that. He knows you're going to get to a space of extended boredom from desolate everything after you destroyed everything. He knows what you're going to go through because he's already been through it. He knows what awaits you for engaging in the energy he does. He's damned, and so he just wants everybody to fall into what it is he's doing. He wants everybody to be erased like him. He wants everybody to be damned like him. So of course he's going to tell you it's light on the side, that this is what it is, that you ain't never supposed to trust God. God ain't done nothing, this, that, and the third. He going to always try to convince you to line up with him, that the coolest and the most sophisticated and moral thing to do is line up with him so that you can suffer with him. And all his endless regrets and empty intentions, very empty intentions. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that awaits him after he finishes winning the game is endless nothingness. He want to be God, but he's going to be God of nothing because he killed everything. That's the difference. The enemy lives an eternity of boredom. God keeps things interesting. He keeps making new stuff. There's always stuff around. Somebody to screw with, if nothing else. You like torturing people? It takes people to be there in order for you to be able to get off your rocks. You kill off everybody, ain't nobody there to torture. And the enemy promised you there's always going to be somebody there. But what his intention is and what his actual functionality is to ensure there's no one there. Ever. Ever again. Y'all got to stop following him. That's what I'm telling y'all. A lot of y'all want something that is in his ballpark, but you don't want his final, his bottom line. Y'all just want to do evil stuff. Y'all want to have fun doing wicked stuff. You get off feeling like it's cool to be wicked. But he has an end game. That ain't your end game. You want to enjoy yourself doing all that evil stuff. He's not interested in making it that so that anyone enjoys any damn thing. The very essence of what it is that you want to enjoy is what he takes from you in the end. That's the point. All that little cute stuff that I like to do, that dabbles in wickedness, those are games to you. He ain't playing. Y'all like going against God. You think he's cool to be rebellious. You believe no one's greater than you. You're the chosen ones, even though you don't believe in God. You're playing into the hands of that for which wants to leave everything desolate. Empty, vast space of nothingness. Forever. A lot of y'all can't even stand still without something to smoke, or without something to drink, or without something to screw on, or whatever the case may be. You can't stand still in a world without some type of stimuli. not knowing that you're signing up for zero stimuli. A blank world with nothing around. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. If that's what y'all want to sign up for, then you obviously do not behold the intention of what endless time actually means. You want that for as long as you want it, however long that goes. That's the key to all that. Some people say, I want to live in the world by myself, until you don't want to anymore. That'll never happen. Well, we'll see, because that's exactly how long it's going to be. Forever and never. And when you get to a point where you're saying this ain't fun anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, you still got to deal with it. When you've screamed yourself out after being in a space where you're tired of that, you're still dealing with it. When you've come to terms with it, embraced it, and lived in a place of peace and zen, that void is going to outlast that patience that you developed. No matter how much patience you have, it's going to outlast that void. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Don't sign up for endless anything. Don't sign up for endless anything. Sign up to be with God so He can keep changing things around you. God is the creator of things, creation of stimuli, creation of opportunities and games, whatever it is you like. All the energy that comes from doing the things that you like and what that ultimately feels like, that bliss, He created that bliss. You don't feel nothing without Him giving you that opportunity. You don't get no relief without Him having that opportunity for you. There's no such thing as you enjoying anything without that, for which is the creator. And that's what people need to understand. They're signing up for stuff without beholding the truth about what it is they're signing up for, and shunning away something without actually beholding what it is that they're shunning. They don't know what they're doing, but they're signing up for things that are going to affect them long after they come around to realizing what they've done. Signing up for forever. A lot of y'all so damn sure, man. You can't even put two and two together, a lot of y'all, but you're so convinced that you know what comes after what and why you should do certain things and why you shouldn't care about other things, and your indifference holds no consequence. My group is the most important, so if we're going around chopping babies up, then that's cool, because at least it's us. It's like, yeah, you don't even know what you're signing up for. That Zionist book that's telling them that be the chosen ones and this is what's required, and hurt others and treat people poorly and all this stuff, they have no idea that they're actually signing up for what it is that they ultimately cannot handle. And that book ain't telling them the truth about nothing at all. Nothing. It ain't telling them the truth. It's signing them up for the worst possible fate, man. And that's what I'm telling y'all. Get to a point where you understand that. Get to a point where you can fathom that. Don't let temporary stupidity in life sign you up for endless void of nothingness and or suffering. You do not want that. You don't want that. Even things that you like, you want to be able to turn off when you're tired of it. That's what I want people to understand. Even the very essence of the things you love the most, you want to be able to stop when you're ready to stop. Think of the thing you love the most. Think of the thing that you think you never get tired of. If you do it too much, eventually you're going to get to a point where you say, I'm fine. I've officially reached my space where I've had enough. It may take 1,000,000 years, but that space comes around eventually. All right, I'm finally good. What else? And when you have to stay in that space where there ain't nothing else but that, then you start realizing the very essence of what it is you love becomes your hell, because you can't turn it off. Your favorite song, listen to it over and over again. I never get tired of this song until you're tired of this song. Too much of anything ain't good, man. That's the point. Except for heaven, which is ever changing. And that's the point as well. The Creator who created everything can create a new stuff for you, so you never get tired of anything. New stuff around you, so it's always something new, some essence of something that can change and turn off, turn back on when it's time to. Freedom to enjoy newness. The devil ain't gonna never allow you that, man. He ain't never gonna allow you that. He gonna make you listen to that same damn song forever and ever and ever. And you're gonna want to turn it off, and you ain't gonna be able to turn it off. And you're gonna live in that space till you're exhausted of it, and you still ain't gonna be able to turn it off after you come to terms with that, and then forever and so forth and so on. Don't sign up for that. Don't let this little 25 years, 90 years, however long you get to live in your body, have you signing up for that. Don't let these evil cultures of people who want you to suffer forever and mortgage your life for your forever, have you signing up for stuff that's going to create that reality for you. Because that's exactly what the enemy wants to do, and it's exactly what he's using people to try to coerce other people into doing. Temporary moments of insanity, doing all types of evil stuff so you could be famous in random 2024. You know how many 2024s are going to come around before this hell that you're living in stops? That's what you need to understand. Eternity is a very long time, man. Y'all doing stuff in these little 80 years, however long you get, it's going to sign you up for an eternity of suffering. I cannot stress that enough, man. And for anybody who says, well, that's not true, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in nothing, it's just me, it's just us, I hope you're right. Like, for your sake, I hope you're right, bro. You're toying with something like you're positive. Like, that positivity is supposed to save you. That positivity ain't gonna save you from the reality of that. Just because you don't believe in it don't mean it ain't coming. And that's the problem with human beings. They think they're too smart. I don't believe it, so it ain't here. Damn, it's here, it's there. I believe that I can will myself away from the pain of this fire. You touch that fire, it's gonna burn you. That's it. You didn't have to believe. It didn't matter if you believe. It didn't matter if you get it or you understand. It didn't matter if you meant well, or if you had an abominable, unwaverable will against it. I trust myself. Okay, cool. Have you ever been wrong about something? Don't be wrong about this. That's what I'm telling people, man. You're signing up for forever thinking it's okay. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, just going to do this. I'm going to do that, whatever I want to do. We'll see. We'll see, man. That's how I take my chances. Yeah, that's what you say with that brain. That's what you say with your brain that don't know any better, who can't actually fathom what it means to suffer forever. Yeah, you can make that decision in a whim because you never experienced forever and didn't like it. You get to a point where 700 million years down the road, you're still going through hell. Believe me, all you're going to want to do is turn around and change what you did. That's it. Like, nah, that was a terrible decision, and I want to change it. And you ain't going to have no opportunity to do so. That wisdom come around, you embody that. That maturity come around, you embody that. Still sitting in that suffering, man. It goes on forever. Y'all want to toy with that? You sure? I'll tell you right now, when you start weighing the weight and the magnitude of what forever is versus the possibility of enjoying whatever it is that you're toying with, you start realizing that forever holds so much more weight. No matter how heavy what it is that you're weighing, forever is heavier. That's the problem. Like, well, let me do this evil thing because, man, I can't let this happen. Fam, forever is heavier. Whatever you're weighing, whatever it is, forever is heavier. Now, we just gonna go on and do this evil thing, man. We rolling with the crew, this, that, the crew. Yeah, forever's heavier though. Understand that. Forever is heavier. So if you sign up for something that's gonna leave you potentially, even in the slightest possibility of an endless suffering, you probably should understand the magnitude of the word endless as you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do. Because that's the core of it all. Endless. Not the pain, not the circumstance, not the context. No. Just the true understanding that one does not fully understand what forever actually feels like. While y'all making decisions that course you into forever, your beholding of what forever means, you're underestimating 100% of the time. No matter what it is you think forever is, it's lasting past that for which you are fathoming every single time. Don't sign up for that. That's all I'm saying, man. Don't sign up for that. Many people live their lives, they signed up for that, and they ended up experiencing that truth forever. And that shit lasts forever, for real. It's not, it doesn't end. So that's what I want to tell everybody, man. Y'all want to go where the devil wants to take you? Understand that he ain't gonna let you out of there. Y'all want to worship him and think you're gonna be able to be on the cool side of the table because of it? He don't want nothing cool. He just wants you to underestimate what forever is so he can put you in it. That's pretty much it. Video 44. Thank you all for watching. Out.